Samian ware is one of the most distinctive types of pottery from the Roman world. It is essentially a high-quality tableware and is hard and fine with a glossy red surface, although black forms of Samian do also exist. Another name for Samian ware is terra sigillata, which roughly translates as stamped earth. This is a reference to the relief decoration often found on Samian vessels. It was originally made in Italy, with manufacture later shifting to parts of Gaul, which is modern-day France and Germany. Samian was produced in huge quantities and exported across much of the Roman Empire. One of the major centres of production, at La Grau-Façonque, employed around 600 potters and is estimated to have exported somewhere in the region of 15 million vessels a year at its peak. Pottery from here has been found as far afield as India and North Africa. It has also been found across much of Britain at both civilian and military sites. Samian vessels were very standardised in both size and shape. Many of these vessel forms were categorised by a scholar called Hans Dragendorf in 1895. Other forms have been identified since by other scholars, but vessel forms are still referred to by their Dragendorf numbers. Many Samian vessels carry potter's stamps on the base. These stamps enable us to identify the workshop where the vessel was made, and even the individual potter who created it. It is also possible to use differences in decorative style to identify a vessel's origin. This can make Samian pottery a valuable dating tool on Roman archaeological sites, as we know when particular potters or workshops were operating. Samian ware represents standardisation and mass production in an era before this was as common as it is today, but there does also seem to have been a more personal element to it. A fairly high proportion of Samian is found showing evidence that it has been broken and repaired in antiquity. This might be partly down to its high cost and the fact that it may have been comparatively difficult to replace, but I also like to think that these items would have been treasured by the people who owned them and valued as special objects in their own right. I see a lot of pottery in my job. I think it's probably one of the most common finds from archaeological sites. We've literally got tens of thousands of individual pottery sherds in the collection. But the fact that it was made in these very specific places, in Gaul as was, and it was imported into Britain, it's one of the few pottery types that we know exactly where it came from. We can identify it to the workshop and even the individual potter. Just the fact that all these trading networks and these great networks, and it went across the entire Roman Empire, I just find it really fascinating.